Seinfuck.
I would like to start this episode off with an apology to John Breaks Bad News. I didn't understand the program. I had never seen the program. I thought this was just a call from one of Malcolm's many funny friends in Canada.
Rather than a real person who makes a career off of people's reactions.
Yes. I thought, since the call was coming from New York, that it must have been someone in Toronto with a US phone number.
Why would they need that?
Well, it just made sense to me at the time, and I screened the call using Google screening service, which I would also like to apologize for. I did not recognize your number, though, John. In future, that will be remedied. And I thought that those opinions you were espousing concerning charcuterie boards, not platters, boards, Sasha, boards, not platters, were your own and not the result of a inquiry you had received from the Seinfuck staff. I apologize for asking you how far up your own ass your nose goes.
Provolone has no place on a charcuterie platter, and your insistence that it does is frankly getting in the way of recordings. It gets
so you called it a platter, which is upgrading it. It's insisting on itself already. So it's what is it to you? Is it a platter or a board?
A charcuterie board?
I guess it's earlier, and I just wondered how far up your own ass your nose goes.
Oh no, it's a board. But your co-host wrote platter.
You just called it a platter.
Yeah, because I'm reading what your co-hosts wrote. They said it was a platter.
They're wrong too if they're calling it a platter. First things first. Second of all,
literally quoting himself.
And for asserting that you experienced an ego death and became more pretentious as a result. That was not my intention. Even though you said at one point provolone does not belong on the charcuterie board, which is wrong.
He's correct. I will say he was breaking some bad news to you, and that was that provolone is not on the charcuterie.
And the audience agreed with me. They called me a Chad and an alpha
crazy.
Several times.
Degenerates in the chat.
I mean, one called you a Chad. Many others had an issue.
Many others called me an asshole, yes, and said that in my head, I think I'm Bill Burr.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that I've never seen a Bill Burr special in my fucking life, and the only Bill Burr content that I've consumed up to this point is a joke he told Conan O'Brien about domestic abuse.
It's so specific.
It's
so specific.
Yeah, not just I watched him on Conan once. It was I watched a joke that he told on Conan.
Clip of a specific, very upsetting bit.
No, we should give listeners a context for what happened, because we each got a call from John Breaks Bad News. Now, I want to put this preface this way. For some reason, my call came about 4 months ago. I got the call 4 months ago, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then for some reason, you're backlogged until this week.
This most recent fucking week.
This is US-based phone numbers.
And I got mine, and then the second call immediately afterwards was Harper's call.
Incredible.
And my call was not as mean, or was not as heated, I should say, as Harper's got.
I liked your call. It was funny. The immediate, he was just like, you think you can fight a bear? And you were just like, yeah, I could probably fight a bear. You did.
I said I could scare one off.
And he's just like, how would you scare it? By punching it in the nose? And you were like, yeah, probably.
Here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Sasha insert the calls.
Yeah.
Somehow through sometime in this episode, we can either do it. He's gonna figure it out. All right, Sasha.
Just a chopped up version of it, so we're not
the hits. Just the hits. And and if you can find mine, which is now several months old, I'm sure it's in his files.
I'm sure Sasha saved it immediately.
Yeah, so for the context was obviously you were confronted about whether or not you could fight a bear.
It wasn't just that. It was that I am too pedantic and I need to stop correcting people because it's ruining my relationships. And then in an immediate second beat, I corrected him.
If you are going to try and correct people, stop saying shit that is flat out wrong. That people who owned anacondas as pets, or that you could win a fist fight against a black bear. You have so much potential.
Taken out of context.
So stop squandering it on your flights of fancy. You think you could scare off a black bear by punching them in the nose or something?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
That's sharks.
Well, that too.
No, I don't think you could scare a black bear by punching it in the nose. I think that would just upset it more.
Probably just gonna run away.
You should play dead. That's what they teach you in cartoons.
I thought it was climb a tree.
No, they can climb trees.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, the chat was very, very quick to hop on that too. So I think there are some pedants in the chat as well.
Yeah,
that's a fun show though. It's fun to listen to people go off.
The thing was because I didn't know, you both kind of knew this could happen. There was, because I got tipped off months ago. When I did my call was I was on the toilet taking a shit and I saw a New York number call and my first reaction was, well, I'm going to answer this call. Basically, I'm on the toilet. I'm surprised. And it's like,
Hello?
Hi, Malcolm. This is John from John Breaks Bad News. I have some bad news from the rest of the team on the Seinfuck podcast.
Oh, what happened?
They have it on good authority that one of the following people had sex in the guest shower at your old place. But according to them, they cleaned up good after. Robert, Sasha, John C., Bert, or Kenta. One person definitely did not do it in your shower. Was Matthew Dorfman. So you don't need to worry about it being him. So who do you think it was?
I think it was Sasha.
That probably, I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably them.
It was?
I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure it was them.
Yeah, it was just like,
and honestly, Sasha, prove you don't make sounds like that, because until you do, that's just our canon.
That's so awesome, guys. It's so good.
You sound like you're fucking like a PS1 character.
Yeah, just hitting the coins as I was Super Mario.
What up? I'm about to come.
Yeah. It makes a sound of you know. Yeah, you gotta hate hearing people fuck through air vents because that sound carries pretty far. Not super far, but in the next connected room. Sasha, until you prove otherwise, we will just keep making them worse.
Yes.
It has kind of gotten a little worse every time we've done it.
Yeah, just the
sound of Mario falling off the side of the cliff.
You're pretty good at it. You're pretty good at it. Just can you imagine the dank cave dripping noise sound, where it's a single drop of water hitting the ground, reverberating over rock, and then Sasha from deep within the cave going.
Is that supposed to be Solid Snake crawling through like a sewer pipe?
No. That's pre-coitus Sasha.
Okay.
That's him warming up.
Post-coitus Sasha.
Just sniffling in tears,
Oh no.
You guys ever?
No, he's
it's
just
not really
fully.
A fair question.
I really need to thank you.
Hey, Jesus!
Thank you for this opportunity.
I just want producer Sasha. Listen, you're amazing, and
I just feel so
That's a
close
good thing to say.
Yeah,
it just feels like we're so close.
I gotta get back to editing podcasts and doing voiceovers,
recording audiobooks,
recording AI generated audiobooks.
Yeah. So, John, sorry about that.
So go back to John.
Sorry, John.
Yeah,
sorry,
dude.
John.
I didn't know. If you hear this by some miracle, I assume you won't. I'm sorry, and I'm not like that for real. It's just I thought I had to turn it on, And obviously, I acted like a big asshole. And you're still wrong about provolone on the charcuterie board. Later, you said you wouldn't care as long as there was some medium to sharp cheddar on there, which I also think is a mistake.
Yeah, I think that is a mistake.
That's also a mistake and crazy.
It has to be if it's you want a sharp cheddar on the charcuterie board, it has to be a genuinely like
Monterey, like really sharp cheddar.
Yeah, like as good quality as you can get. It can't be like Kraft fucking like, oh, I got this block of cheese from whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. And
you got to go to a specialty store for that shit. Otherwise, it just doesn't belong there.
And a lot of your chat also said I was projecting when I was indirectly insulting you, which I was. But I feel like you're projecting sometimes if you feel like you don't really care and then follow it up by saying you want a different kind of cheese than the one that I wanted and that it's a worse cheese objectively.
If you need to, relitigate this whole thing over again, please come on the podcast. We'd love to have you.
5 minutes on the pod, we sort this out.
Yeah,
in and out.
This would be a great conversation.
We come away as brothers.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have a charcuterie board.
We're
there.
here to unite the Seinfuckers with the John Breaks bad newsers or whatever he calls his fans. What do you think he calls
news bears? Probably.
The bad news bears, I would say.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe we can even all four of us go and break some bad news on a poor unsuspecting real person.
Yeah,
I hope we do that. I do hope it's especially juicy.
I know someone who looks a lot like that guy.
I was gonna say I also know people who look like him. Like when I watched the stream, I was like, wait a minute.
You're right. Exactly. So I was listening to the radio and I heard this commercial for some sort of like end of life healthcare thing, like liver failure type shit.
Like a dialysis?
Like dialysis. And it's like healthcare for that, like end of life healthcare. Like you're on kidney failure meds, you're on dialysis and shit. And the guy is like, oh, when my dad or my uncle had kidney failure and he died, he left me his parrot and his will. And the parrot's just like, freaking globe earther, stupid sphere earther. And he's just like, my uncle was a part of the Flat Earth Society, so he learned some interesting things. It was just
wait, that's
funny.
A genuine commercial?
It's a real commercial, and they also played it back to back, so I got time to be very familiar with it on the radio. It's like
do you have
radio.
A link to this commercial? I got it.
I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. I'll try to find it for you later. But
if someone in the Phoenix area who works on this, hears this, or worked on that commercial, or has a link to it, please send it to us. We need to hear this.
I can fly. I'll tell you the Earth is flat.
Is it like doing like it was like doing like an Aflac thing, like when like Gilbert Gottfried was?
Yeah, it wasn't even comprehensible. It wasn't very comprehensible. You could tell the bird was saying derogatory things about people who believe the Earth is round, but like the guy who's doing the impression of the parrot is not very good at it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so this is from
it
like
just sounds like
earther?
A personal gripe of his.
Yeah, the parrot's the flat earther, and then the guy comes back on and he's just like, unlike Paulie here, I believe in science. And I believe that end of life care for dialysis.
That is such a hard swing. That is such a hard swing.
And I'm trying to take it. I'm not like legit guys couldn't even tell you if it's actually about dialysis or not. The way that it was done.
It sounds like a guy who's like got a divorce and he's like, "Honey, I just want it for the judge. All right, this is for the judge. I'm not a flat earther anymore. I believe in science.
He's a flat earther. He doesn't think the Earth is round."
Can I see the kids on weekends?
Please, just
not supervised. I don't want it to be supervised visitation. Please.
The solar system revolves around Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like wham. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Wham.
Hey, fuck that up. Yeah,
I'm a goblet earther. I believe the Earth is a goblet.
Elon.
Oh, that'd be fun.
It's gonna be like Here's the thing. Do you think flat earthers right now think that Elon Musk is going to defund NASA and then prove that they've been guarding the polar ice caps to keep us out from being on the edges of the Earth?
I mean, nothing is kind of beyond their thing. That's kind of how conspiratorial thinking sort of works, right?
Yeah.
It's based on the fact that like every new refutation is in itself a confirmation of their belief. So if, he defunds NASA or all public information is released, all it will generate will be people like, oh, well, they wouldn't really have released that. It's obviously, underneath everything. There's some metadata. We can blah, 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 blah. Like it's all bullshit, but they believe it because it's core to their identity.
So what I'm hearing is that they'll be like, they got compromised. Elon Musk is compromised. Donald Trump compromised.
That's classic. That's classic.
Yeah, it's classified. I try to get into their Signal chats. They're not letting me in.
Me and my $20 ham radio are failing to break the encryption on the national fucking Signal.
Yeah, you know what's funny about those fucking guys is that usually they say shit like that and that people are lying to them, and then half the food they consumed is like full of aluminum and shit. It's like Hot Pockets.
Just like, oh yeah, I'm eating the hot dog with the foil on. Like, that's
exactly. They like smoke.
It's all the only way you can protect yourself.
Yeah, I have to be protected on the inside and out.
They have like a rats. They're like legit hoarders and shit. Like they have garbage piling up in their shitty double wide.
Yeah, they have dead rats like dying nestled within the insulation of their fucking trailer home. It's a miracle they haven't died of hantavirus or whatever it's called.
If you are under 30 and believe in flat earth, if you're under 30 and above 21, at Buck Panic on twitter.com, I will filter you based on gender and we will meet up. Play Xbox
which
games.
Which way are you filtering?
I have two classifications: good buddy and possible slam pig. So if you would like to fulfill either of those roles,
yes. Boy. What if a good buddy turns into a slam pig?
If you have a nice ass, you will be filtered appropriately. Don't worry, it is not gender conforming. We are in the new millennium. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Appreciate
2025. We appreciate all genders and sexualities, just not flat earthers.
Your dick cannot be bigger than mine, by the way. Your dick cannot be bigger than mine. Thank you.
That's a requirement.
It's a requirement. We all have our things. Robert won't date anyone with larger nipples than him. It's a real narrow user base.
That would fuck me so hard.
It's a real narrow user. He's got little dime nipples.
Because I wouldn't be able, it's twofold. I wouldn't be able to find out in most cases until after, just before we're about to do it.
She takes off her shirt and you just stand up and you're just like, nope.
God,
nope.
just like, God damn it.
Just crashes out in the fucking room.
You're just like, God damn, it's happening again. And you're just like, I can't come. I'm not allowed to come because the nipples are too big.
I just on the way out of their 2-bedroom apartment, I grab a handle of an alcohol on shelf. I'm like, this is for that fucking useless date.
Just picturing, jeez, I can hear it.
I need you to Venmo me $20.
Yeah, the clothes shuffling is Robert awkwardly
the fucking Uber I paid to be here.
It's just like, this is a fucking waste of my fucking time. You know that? If you weren't going to be upfront about this bullshit, then you shouldn't have had me over.
And that's even worse because I have very small nipples. That's there's how many people are I'm gonna be able to fuck.
So how far do you go one way or the other, right? Would ghost nipples be smaller than yours since you basically can't see them? Or would they be larger than yours because they're potentially the entire breast?
What do you mean ghost nipples? I don't know.
As in
the nipple matches the skin tone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or near enough.
The area is definable.
Usually. Okay, that's
unless you're really looking.
Yeah. Would you if you had a windfall of some financial windfall and you met the dream girl, but her nipples were just a little too big? Would you be like, hey, baby, could you? Would you go and do the surgery? I need the surgery.
Would you please go under the knife? That's so insane.
They would have to be creeping up to her collarbone for me to say shit like that.
No, I know. I don't listen. I love a good nipple.
This is not real. I just want to really make sure people know that this is not a real thing. I do.
Listen, we're talking about ghost nipples, all right? We're trying to pass the nipple test, all right? We're trying to see if who passes the test.
We have to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
In the universe, where I would I can't do it unless the nipples are smaller than mine. I don't think ghost nipples would cut it.
That's fair.
You don't think
I think
that they would be
I
smaller
have to
than yours?
see that they are smaller than mine. If we're taking that logical sort of continuation all the way to its finishing point.
In this universe, you also have to like press your nipples against nipples smaller than yours to get any kind of actual satisfaction from intercourse.
Oh, that sucks. That fucking sucks.
Oh, that's a terrible. That stinks.
That stinks. Yeah.
That's
My
so
dick is just broken. It's just useless. It just kind of like goes there. See, your thing with the nipples thing is so out of left field. I can't think of anything like parallel with you guys.
I don't know if this is parallel.
Dialysis screening. Stupidest thing I ever fucking heard. You fell for the stupidest fucking trick in the book. The earth is fucking flat, idiot.
I hit the glass dome every time.
Go ahead, throw it straight up. See what happens.
It'll come right down.
I mean, there's I don't know if you know this, but this like I saw this TikTok recently where someone was it was like a science TikTok where they talk about what the funniest joke is, and apparently there was this study done at the University of Hertfordshire in 2002 to find the funniest joke in like this experiment called the Laugh Lab.
That sounds incredibly stupid. Go on.
It is stupid, but I want to read the joke and just I want to see if you agree that this is like a funny joke or not.
Sure.
It was submitted by a guy who was in Manchester. The joke goes, 2 hunters are out in the woods when one of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other guy whips out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps, "My friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator says, "Calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There's a silence. Then a gunshot is heard. Back on the phone, the guy says, "Okay, now what?"
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, so that was the winning joke out of 10,000 jokes.
That was the funniest joke?
That's the funniest joke?
I didn't even smile.
I know. It was the thing. I was surprised that was the joke, and I was thinking like, what is a funnier joke? Which is
this is the joke for people who have never heard a joke before. Like that.
I can tell you a funnier joke in a different language.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go on.
Check this out. This one is translated from German, right? For context, the word meat in German is synonymous with killing a prey as a hunter, right?
Okay. Sure.
2 hunters meet in the forest. They both die.
No, that is a better joke.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a good one. And
it didn't even make you smile.
It's not like laugh my head off, but it's one of those think a second later and like, oh yeah, that's funny.
It's the pinnacle of German humor.
That's kind of true.
It does remind me that specifically that joke that's supposed to be the funniest joke. It reminds me of a joke my mom told me, and it's like objectively a funnier joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sasha, put some German accordion like polka music here. Yeah, so a Brazilian walks into a bar and he walks out because he cannot afford anything at the bar.
Okay, that's a little Austrian for my liking.
That's a little,
yeah. Okay, maybe I will do another one. Okay.
I'm not. Let me tell the joke. I was setting up to tell the joke my mom told me, and you totally just fucking stepped all over that.
No, Robert tells his joke, his mom's joke. This is my mother Delilah.
This is a joke my mom told me. There's a guy goes to the doctor, and the doctor goes up to him. He says, "I have good news and I have bad news." And the guy goes, "I'll start with the bad news." And goes, "You're dying. Not only are you dying, any procedure that would you save you would increase your pain tenfold. You will have to be fed by the spoon. You're going to have to be bathed by a sponge. You're going to be, for the last final days, you will be a prisoner within your own body, and you will be miserable the entire time. It is literally one of the worst deaths that you can ever go through." And the guy's like, "Jesus, what's the good news?" Doctor walks over the window, points at it, and you see that girl over there across the way with the beautiful, beautiful face, long brown hair, and just gorgeous form. The guy goes, "Yeah, well, I'm fucking her."
Okay. All right. I see it. I mean, these are all like, these are like what street jokes, right? So it's like, I think I inherently
Who on the street is going to be so fucking incredibly verbose that their joke takes a week to tell, like that one.
That joke did not last longer than a minute.
You'll be in a prison of your own making. Your body will shut down, and all of your internal organs will slowly and sinisterly decrepify inside of your rotting carcass.
Can't be 6 words total. Fucking Hemingway, get the fuck out of here.
There's so much unnecessary shit in that joke. It made me pissed off.
It's a good joke. I'm still very partial to Mario falling down.
Yeah, just that like.
Up we go.
Well, he says that first, and then you're like, oh, up we go. He steps in lava.
I think if Mario came, he would go like, oof, like that.
Yeah. When he runs it, that's the sound he makes in N64 when he runs like directly full speed into a wall and like falls on his ass.
Yeah, exactly that one.
But after he does that, he busts a load because that's what his kink is.
His kink is just shredding his nose on a fucking concrete wall.
Why is there so much fucking Rule 34 of Peach being Bowser's girl? It's not right. I'd say in the first place that Bowser's a turtle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of comes from the the joke that is like, oh, well, they're obviously she's been kidnapped for the umpteenth time. There's something else going on here in sort of, if you apply any sort of adult logic to a kid's game.
I think that's what we lose sight of as millennials all the time, is that the things we love. I read something that pissed me off, actually. Let's get off of this Mario cuck shit for just a moment.
Yeah, sure.
Listen, that's fair.
I promise. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. I will come back to it. I saw some Gen Z kids making fun of millennials because they were obsessed with being infantilized or something along those lines. And I think that was exactly how it was phrased, but what they meant was they were obsessed with acting like kids.
Oh, okay.
Because it was like on a TikTok of millennials doing that thing. You know what I'm talking about, where it's like the girls make faces and stuff and say like Invader Zim words and crap like that,
Oh, like woo rar kind of thing,
like raw XD sort of a thing. Yeah.
Wait, let's just specific so we know this. So this is what Zoomers are saying about millennials.
Yeah, and they think that the he's right behind me sort of stuff is millennials too.
There is just like excuse me, I'm a quirky girl.
that's just
what
a
I'm talking
fucking
about. That's Gen X, right? First of all, Zoomers out there, you fucking idiots. Hold on, you fucking assholes. That is Gen X.
Yeah,
Gen X wrote all that shit for millennials. So when you're talking about that shit, you're talking about Gen X. So please attribute your spite accordingly. We do not want to take the rep for he's right behind me anymore. We don't want to hear.
That is a
I can't have it's global warming.
That's just like that's a Joss Whedon thing, and he's like, and he is in like no 50. Way. He's 60, but in no way is he a millennial.
Not even close.
Is he a millennial?
Is Joss Whedon a millennial? Yeah.
Do millennials like that shit? Yeah, they love that shit.
Some of them do. Some of them
the older ones do, definitely.
Did Scott Pilgrim actually ruin an entire generation of children? I would argue yes. I argue that there's a lot of women out there that think they're Ramona Flowers, but there's even more men that think they're Scott fucking Pilgrim, and that's probably worse for society in every measurable facet.
I mean,
I acknowledge that.
The manic pixie dream girl aesthetic, along with the, I don't know what you'd call it.
The fake nice guy.
Yeah,
that's literally what Scott is. It's not even like a
dorkable guy or whatever.
That was another term. That's definitely a millennial term of adorkable.
Yeah, we can't.
We
can't
all
put that one
watched
on
The New Girl. We all watched fucking 500 Days of Summer. Fucking I almost called her Ellen DeGeneres. What's her name? Zooey Deschanel.
Zooey
We
Deschanel.
all know that Zooey Deschanel was cute once upon a time, but now she's married to a
Long
property
ago.
brother. That is so sad.
It gets
Yeah,
further
her
and further
sister
down the
is Bones. All right, her sister is Bones.
line. Rule number 6 of improv, baby. Always say bones.
No, that's a real thing, though. Her sister's Emily Deschanel, and she was the star of Bones.
Yes.
That's right.
And rule number 6 of improv is always say bones.
Bones.
What are
What's
you
up,
not
Zach
getting,
Hagel?
Malcolm?
Both
Writing the
ways.
rules of improv.
You
Yeah.
were just
What I'm
fulfilling
trying
the
to say-
6th rule of improv.
What I was
Bones.
trying to get at here, though, is that there's a reason that millennials act like that they want to retain that part of their psyche. And it's because they grew up their whole life hearing from baby boomers that growing up sucks. And
'Cause it
every bit of their
does.
media,
Yeah.
every bit of the media that millennial kids consumed were just like, you better enjoy this now because everything gets worse. And it doesn't just get worse, it just gets horrible.
One day you'll wake up with a fucking person you hate. Wake up next to a person you hate. Your ungrateful kids are going to make your life a mess, and you're going to be working a dead end 9-to-5 job just to keep everyone in your house fed. And then that's like, and then somehow that is, I just don't understand.
They are trying as hard as they can not to be where they are in life, which is 30 with no prospects, no kids, a job that pays under $50,000 a year in an economy that basically made it impossible for them to move up, with a degree that basically made it impossible for them to get into their chosen field, and in a housing market that won't let them in. So maybe give them that one, because in about 5 years, that's going to be you fucking guys. And Fortnite is not going to save you from the economic turmoil that got voted into office in the last 2
You all
years.
can't be right-wing influencers, all right?
Yeah, the bottom of the right-wing influencer market will fall the fuck out.
Yeah.
We're not saying be a left-wing one either, because those guys suck too.
Yeah.
Okay?
All
We're
of them
actually
are just
saying-
going to eventually run for office and then take payouts almost
Fuck, dude.
immediately.
Yeah.
Any Gen Z kids out there, please make your own fucking party. Make your own fucking political party. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
It could be fun.
It could be
Just-
fun.
Call it the fucking party, the fucking, I don't know, what are the
Just
what
call
are
it
the
the
kids
We
like?
Like to Party Party. Then
The
just
Fortnite
fucking
party.
We like the party.
Start the
party.
fucking Fortnite party. Start the fucking what's that new game they're all playing? That's just the same game that comes out every couple of months. Repo.
Oh,
Yeah,
Repo. I've been
call it the
playing-
Repo party.
Which was
I'm gonna play Repo,
whatever
it's
that
fun.
one game was. What is that? Space Patrol? I fucking don't know.
It's the
I
same
don't
shit.
play
There's 3 different
video
versions of it.
games.
Zort.
Lethal Company.
Oh,
is
Lethal
another version
Company.
of it.
Lethal
Yes,
Company,
Lethal
yeah.
Company.
It's the same fucking game. It just comes in waves.
There was another one too. Another one exactly like that me and all of my friends played.
Fall Guys?
Fall Guys was fun I think that was more of a millennial game than a Zoomer game.
It-
but-
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
fun. We're all stuck in COVID. Let's bleed our eyes on bright colors.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it
I mean,
was a
getting
fun
high and
time.
playing Fall Guys was awesome. Yeah. So, Gen Z kids, please understand that if we do something that you view as unsavory or cringeworthy, that it's not because we actually think that stuff is cool. It's because we're all deeply mentally ill, just like you.
And just another aside, this more of just kind of like, hey, we're both fucked kind of deal. It's not just us. Is that whatever like money you think you're going to inherit from your parents, it's never going to
gone.
pan out. It's never going to pay out. Their end of life care is going to consume any equity on their house. If they're going to do a reverse mortgage, any single fucking dollar that you think you're going to get from your parents is going to go to the insurance industry instead. America is broke. We are a crater of a country.
We don't
are
have
fucked.
wills set up. They don't have wills set up for you either. They didn't even think about it. So when they die, all that shit is going to go straight to fucking, what's it called?
If you-
The state.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
no, if you're lucky, it will go to a scam caller, which might be you.
Yeah, scam call your dad. Scam call your dad.
Hey,
You're the Raj Patel
1-800
here.
Scam call your dad.
just kind
Scam
of
your own dad. Make his finances appear.
this sounds like a Fountains of Wayne song.
It's a drug church song about calling out of work. It's
Oh,
called
that's
Kidnap
awesome.
Yourself.
Kidnap yourself, but it's
Oh.
scam your dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scam your dad.
Scam your
pretty
dad.
clever.
It's the
I love
right
that shit.
thing to do today. Oh.
Call your dad and say you got in a DUI, that you broke your nose and you can't speak without doing a nasally voice, and that you're handing the phone off to a lawyer who's going to teach you who's going to tell you how to wire money.
It's pretty good. They've got me in zip ties. Say they'll take my life. I was home the whole time. I was home smoking ice.
I've been drunk the whole time.
that's been all my thoughts for this week.
No, that's fair.
No,
that's fair.
Those are good thoughts, I gotta say. I know it's funny when you're talking about the Gen Z, because my sister's Gen Z, and she was. I was talking to her the other day, and she was like, "There's this girl at school, and she like thinks she's so cool because she like listens to old music," and I was like, "Fuck." The punchline's gonna be like she was listening to like Avril Lavigne or something. Like it's gonna be like something like like.
Have you heard of this awesome band called Nirvana? I wonder if they still tour.
Yeah.
Imagine Malcolm. No. Imagine Malcolm. You put on the headphones that she gives you, and you hear, "I'm like a bird on my wing. I don't know where my home is."
Yeah. No, but that's the thing.
And you'd be like, "Yeah, I love all these."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, Dolly Furtado, yeah, a classic."
Yeah, what would be the funniest song that she could play for you, though?
Yeah, well,
Dragon Force Through the Fire and Flames.
That'd be pretty good.
She said like she was like, "Oh yeah," she likes the classics. I was like, "Okay," and then she revealed the song he was playing was
Harper's dying.
8 Days a Week by the Beatles.
Oh fuck! Have you ever heard of Sgt. Pepper's Hearts Club Band?
That's what she was doing. She was listening to the Beatles.
Uncle Malcolm, hating the Beatles doesn't make you deep.
Yeah, it doesn't make you cool or trendy.
And then you just grab her by the
most
and
popular
be like,
band in the world.
No, it's so it was like she was listening. The girl was like deeply. She's like, "Yeah, I'm just a fan of like bands like the Beatles and John Crocker." I was like, "What the fuck?" That was old when I was young.
Aerosmith. I wonder if he would have dated a girl my age when he. Steven Tyler, I know who you are.
I know.
We know you're evil.
We know what you are.
I know what you're hiding behind those wax lips.
Fucking Drake might have. Drake didn't get away with it, and neither should you.
No,
we know your crimes. All right.
So yeah, that was what I was thinking about this week. No, for real, PlayStation rocked. Like it was better than every other console. Nintendo was the best it will ever be, and has been on a sharp decline since then. The movies were fucking sick.
We gotta stop waxing nostalgia.
Yeah,
no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this in the hopes that a Zoomer writes in and tells me what a self-absorbed piece of shit I am. That is Seinfuck@gmail.com. Go to our link tree.
I mean,
and
Harper,
submit.
do you not appreciate the what a nostalgia trip Battlefield 1 was?
Was that a game or something?
It's a game.
Your guess is as good as mine, honestly.
Yeah, was that the World War I battlefield?
Yeah, I think that was.
All right. Well, I wasn't a Call of Duty. I was more like a Ratchet and Clank Sly Cooper. I don't have.
Yeah, I was too. It was all of my edgy friends.
Yeah, I played in jazz band. I watched anime. Death Note was my favorite anime. There's another thing you guys missed.
That. That was
that's an era. That's an era.
You Zoomers missed anime. You missed all of it. I don't count what you watch as anime.
All the anime you watch
it's not the same.
uses 3D fucking graphics, assisted graphics, and it sucks, and it fucking looks like shit. And you should feel bad.
Ano Hideaki, they roll around and shit and puke when they see your animes. They see my animes, they say we can talk. They see yours, they say it's awful. My animes rock, yours suck. The music was better. The rap didn't all sound exactly the same because trap hadn't been invented until like 2010 or something. Who invented trap? Can I blame Waka Flocka Flame for that?
I think English people.
No, that's drill.
Drill and trap are very close.
Not that close.
Drill. I want to say Drill basically paved the way for Trap.
Trap rapper? No, because Drill was later, I thought. Drill was like
Trap is pretty new. I don't
2015.
know. We're going to have to fucking... I don't want to go
That's
down
fair.
a rap rabbit hole with you
Trap.
guys.
Listen, this is what I just looked it up. Trap has been around since the 90s, but yeah, Waka Flocka Flame really popularized it in the.
Oh, dude, I am.
You were
I'm so
psychic.
much blacker than you guys. It's so awesome.
Hey, I've had people genuinely question whether or not you were black just by judging by your voice alone.
That's so funny, dude. I was one time there was this black kid in a rivals lobby I was playing with. I
Yeah.
could tell because he was calling me the N-word. And like,
yeah, that's the tell.
that's what took it up. Well, the white kids can sound like that if they really want to, but it's all in how they say the N-word. There are people who say the N-word and have been saying it their whole life acceptably that say it, and it sounds different than people who are trying to appear to be black. So anyway, he starts talking. He asks why I'm not healing him, and he starts insulting me, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to play this game after work, dude. He's like, what the fuck, dude? You're like 30. I was just like,
Oh no!
and I was out here and I was just like, damn, I am 30 for real. Put that note in, Malcolm.
Yeah, please, thanks. That
That
very
one I have to.
important
That one I had to be
note.
very obvious about the note.
That's a very
bold it,
important
and
note.
capitalize it.
and cut me saying
Underline it, capitalize, italicize
Cut
it.
everything except us giving you notes on what to cut, Sasha.
Please and thank you.
Sasha, play several clown horns in unison. Stop.
I was going to think of talking about, the fact that the U.S. is just texting out their war plans to random journalists.
To the WAPO,
Yeah.
the fucking Atlantic.
The Atlantic.
Editor, yeah.
You're like, yeah. My
That's
little
great.
Trump's thing. He's like, the Atlantic. I think it's a magazine. I haven't read it.
Yeah,
It was
it's some
like-
failed magazine. I don't know anything about it.
Also, Sasha, get your mic out and say a complete sentence you can imagine a bald man saying right now. Thank you.
My favorite spice to put on my potatoes is salt.
That's perfect.
On that note, we have a user submission. On that very strange note that I called you, Sasha's rendition for, we have a user submission. Okay, this is a user submission from someone who would like to be known as Angus.
Hi, Angus.
Hey, Angus.
Hey,
Love
you.
you. I love your beef, Angus.
I can't think of Angus without thinking of that one SNL sketch where it's Colonel Angus.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. That's a great one. with
That's a
Christopher
classic.
Walken.
Though I do feel
Tina
bad
Fey
for
wrote it.
Maya Rudolph in that
Oh,
sketch
by the
because
way, I finally saw a
What?
fucking SNL sketch, and you would be so proud of me.
good job. We're
good
so
job.
proud of you,
I
Harper.
saw the Californians. That's a
Oh,
good
the
one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Californians.
What are you doing?
What are you doing here, Stuart?
Stuart, what are you doing here?
I can do it pretty well.
Yeah.
Take your ass back up the 10.
Go up to
Go
San
up to
Francisco
10,
and get off
and then
on
take
Fountain
left
where
again
you
the Boulevard
belong.
down to. It's such a great premise of just setting it in this
Take the
soap
5
opera.
down to Del Rio.
It'll be jammed for hours. What are you saying?
Oh, Stuart! How could you say that?
Apparently, in that
Wait-
sketch, the
wait a
They do
minute.
talk like
How
that.
do you
They
know
do.
where she lives?
You mean like Ventura?
the lure of that sketch is that Fred Armisen in dress rehearsal would kind of just do the voice normally, and then during live, like when it was like live on air, he would turn up the voice to the point where he was doing like Stuart, and then that's why like Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig are always breaking.
Just always breaking on that
Right?
one.
Dude, Bill Hader fucking corpses and everything. He's,
Oh, yeah.
he's not
He
good at
can't
that.
help it. He can't help it.
Here's the thing.
It's funny for sure. I'm not saying I would do any better. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that he should try.
Here's the difference between Bill Hader and Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is doing it to drive attention to himself. Bill Hader is genuinely going, I can't believe
Yeah,
how funny
He's, like,
genuinely
closing his eyes and puckering
overwhelmed
his
by
lips.
emotion
Yeah.
that he can't do it.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's really good. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's a very funny. Like if someone rehearsed that completely differently and then came out there, it was like, Malcolm, What are you doing here?
It's hard not to laugh.
I
at
love
that,
doing. Yeah, when I was doing stuff at Second City, there was definitely a couple of times I did stuff like that just to like fuck with around because it is fun to like you're doing the same thing and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, let's just twist it. Like we're in front of people now. You gotta. I love when making people break.
but I
Cut
was
across
saying-
Saratoga. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying that Maya Rudolph was very unfortunate in that Colonel Angus sketch because it's, whenever there's a Southern sketch, she's going to play a slave. And I always feel bad for her whenever they do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what she keeps
She got
doing
paid
it.
more
So
than
it's
me,
like, what are you going to do? Say no kind of deal. But
Yeah.
Kenan Thompson's not doing it, but like she's like, I'm fine.
I don't know. She's going to get more money than I ever will, so I'm not going to pretend that I'm too upset about it, to be
That's
honest.
fair.
What's
fair.
Angus's question?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Someone who'd like to be known as Angus wrote us in. Their song recommendation is Higher by Creed. I did see a clip.
Take me higher.
I definitely saw a clip recently of someone showing that like the 2006 Super Bowl halftime show played by Creed
So
to a fish.
I can't believe
So
that they actually got a halftime show. Like that's an insane
And there's
accomplishment.
like a dude in a fucking aerial silk being suspended by wires flying through the stadium. It's wild.
Yeah, we
Is
need
doing
to
aerial
bring back.
yoga.
Here's the thing:
Yeah,
we
bitch.
got to bring back rock bands. We don't have rock bands anymore. We need some rock bands. I need to see.
I will give you 3 good
new-
rock bands right now, okay?
All right.
3 good rock bands that everyone listening should listen to.
Okay.
At least, okay? And you guys can contribute 1 a pop, but my biggest one,
You just say your 3, and then we'll move on to Angus's question.
fine. Drug Church, Valley of the Sun, and Truck Fighters.
Okay.
Sure.
Good.
Listen in, everybody. Okay, his question is, you have to attend a 24-hour long concert of one of the following bands. Which band's 24-hour concert are you going to? Nickelback, Imagine Dragons, or Limp Bizkit? Limp Bizkit, that isn't even a question.
Nickelback.
I will fucking turn up in the pit at a Limp Bizkit show. I will be
For 24
covered
hours, you're
24
gonna.
hours
for
is Nickelback all
24
the way.
hours.
It's Nickel. I gotta say this as a Canadian.
Nickelback.
I gotta do Canadian pride. Nickelback. I'm with Harper here. I know
Wrong.
enough of the songs that I'll enjoy.
When
I'll
you're
be jamming
done
out.
moshing, me and Malcolm will be arm in arm, looking at what's his fucking name? The lead
Chad
singer of
Kroger.
Nickelback.
Chad
Chad
Kroger.
Kroger. Eyes closed, mouth open, singing. Look at this
This
photograph.
Oh, God.
Every time I do it makes me laugh.
And I'll be kicking up in the pit too. And we did it all for the nookie. Yeah.
But it's one song. That's like one song. There's like
That's his only song.
That's the
Yeah,
only-
because
no,
they
and
all
they're
sound
gonna
like
play
it.
that for the full 24 hours.
No, the whole 24 hours is him, Fred Durst going rolling, 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 rolling,
That sounds like-
rolling.
That's a legit torture device. I think the
He says
U.S.
keep
military
once.
used in Iraq.
Yeah.
He says keep once and then goes rolling, 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 rolling,
Yeah.
rolling, rolling.
In the middle of the
rolling, rolling.
I imagine in the middle of the concert, like he's like, I gotta take a slight break to like loosen the voice, and it's just him screening his movie. Like Fred Durst directed this really horrible movie called The Fanatic with John Travolta, where like
Oh,
John Travolta
no.
plays like a mega fan of like a guy, and he like stalks him and like breaks into his house, and John Travolta is going full that's like that's
Yeah,
No,
no, for sure.
You
He
never
is.
go full.
yeah. So in that
At his direction, at Fred Durst's direction.
yeah, so
It's
he
important.
it Fred Durst's insistence.
He just really wanted to be able to connect with the role. He fucked Britney Spears. I feel like we can't talk that much shit
Kevin
about it.
Federline fucked Britney Spears, all right? Listen,
Yeah,
if
but
we were
Fred Durst
dirtbags
fucked
in the
Britney
early
Spears.
2000s, we had a chance with Britney Spears, all right?
We did
You
not.
had a chance.
None of us had a chance
Yes,
with Britney
Robert,
Spears.
you had a chance. I don't know if I did. I don't know if Harper did, but Robert, you would have been the demographic. You could have done it if you were just a little bit older.
If I grew up in the Disney Playhouse and was like, one of the backup
What?
guys from NSYNC.
You could have at least been fucked by the same producer that Britney Spears was.
Exactly. I could only have been so lucky.
I want to say this right now as well to go back to the question. I'm really proud of us for not saying Imagine Dragons. All right, we don't know.
Why the fuck would I listen to Imagine
Why would we
Dragons
do
for 1
it?
minute?
I just think that they're just popular enough that people are like, yeah, but Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons listeners out there north of 21, write us
Fuck
in
off.
at the link tree, north of 18 actually. Write us in at the link tree explaining yourself, why you like the band, what possible connection could you have to this group of chain smoker wannabe losers? Why do you enjoy
Why is your favorite song Thunder, which is the same, it's like a 3-word song?
You can't even do a fun like sing along with it because the guy is like got too distinctive a voice of just doing Radioactive. Like,
can you imagine being a Black Keys fan but being 6 times as obnoxious?
We could do very harsh breaths in on a fucking track. That's not hard to do.
Gold on the ceiling.
Just a matter of time. The drummer fucked his publicist.
Oh yeah.
And he looks like Malcolm.
you can't like this is my art, all right? It's my art.
We got multiple minutes to kill here, pal. You're
It's
not
my
gonna
art.
Fucking shit to kill.
Yeah, we got.
That was a good that was a good place to end it.
All right, we'll end it there. We'll end it there. So
I think we'll decide in just a minute.
All right. Okay.
Imagine Dragons listeners who are north of 18 at Buck Panic at twitter.com, because I just know you are a very intelligent, beautiful woman. I just know that. And I know it intuitively.
Listen, Harper, unfortunately, I think you're going to, with a call out for Imagine Dragons fans, you're going to enlist a lot of good buddies and not a lot of slam pigs, as you said earlier.
If your ass is nice enough, I will fuck you. I will fuck you. It will be your honor. It'll be great to meet me.
Be their honor?
Absolutely. They're an Imagine Dragons fan. They don't got much else going on.